Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first review of the London Film Festival 2023. It is I, Tate, here from Cinema Savvy, and what an exciting opening film we have to talk about today. I'm going to go into things very quickly on this one because this is going to be a very brief review, spoiler free, by the way, for the film Saltburn, the film that has opened up this year's festival. Before going into this film, though, this year, myself, George, and also Jack is going to be helping provide coverage for various different films across the festival. We may also have some very special guests coming on and helping us, people who are attending the festival. We do this every single year, so you get used to these people coming in and coming out and talking about all the lovely films that are happening at London Film Festival. It's a new era of the London Film Festival. We've got a new festival director. We also have a new location for all of our films. So we're now at the Picture House instead of being at the Odeon Lux or being at the View Cinema. So all the films seem to be coming out of there this year. There's also a weird thing this year where some of the headline galas were presented to the press before the festival even started. Now, I was able to come down here and do festival things from when the start of the festival was, which was today. But the fact that some films, including Richard Linklater's Hitman, happened before the festival, it's not the best. I mean, we could talk about it a little bit more when George is on, and we can have an actual discussion about it. But it's very interesting when you have that set up. But anyway, that's enough of that. Let's talk about Saltburn, the opener of the festival. So starring Barry Keoghan, I cannot pronounce his name. Rosamund Pike, Carey Mulligan makes a cameo in there as well. A very good performance from Jacob Elordi, and a very fun performance as well from Richard E. Grant. A very good cast for this film, directed by Emerald Fennell. And it's her first film since Promising Young Woman, which I really liked. I really, really liked that film. And it's another interesting, mind-bendy, twisty kind of drama film. It's written down on Google as a mystery film, and I was waiting for the mystery to happen, and the mystery kind of blends itself into the plot very nicely, and you kind of wonder what is going on. It takes on its own kind of beast in this film, and what I like about it is that it does keep you on the edge of your seat pretty much all the way through. I will say this film is weird, and this film owns being weird. It's visceral at times. There is some very kind of, I want to say, shocking imagery used in the film throughout various different parts. I'll talk about the plot synopsis as well. So a student at Oxford University finds himself drawn into the world of a charming and aristocratic classmate who invites him to an eccentric family sprawling estate for a summer never to be forgotten. So boy who doesn't fit in, drawn into the world of the kind of rich and fancy. And it's very, very well acted. It's very, very well put onto the screen. The cinematography is fantastic. The music used, because it's set in 2006, is great. You've got some amazing 2006 kind of club tunes and anthems going on, along with a very sweeping orchestral score. The film has its own oddity about it. It feels like a Shakespearean narrative playing out, somewhere between a comedy and a tragedy, those classic ones. It really kind of makes you think the plot is going in one direction, then it goes completely in the other direction. It's a very, very interesting, sprawling film to start off with. I'm really fascinated by it because I enjoyed it as an experience of watching the film, and there are some really, really kind of, and I want to point this out, odd scenes that you will have to get through to get to the good part of this film. The intricate character moments are fantastic. However, there are certain character actions that are performed in the plot which are incredibly explicit. I'll put the warning out there straight away. There is a lot of nudity in this film. There is a lot of kind of violent and weird imagery, and it's just a very unusual kind of. It's not the film that you're expecting it to be. But that doesn't really spoil anything. It kind of goes with that weird vibe from the very, very start and plays into that. So it'll keep you guessing all the way through. I'm not completely sold on it. I did enjoy it, but I'm not 100% sold on it just yet. It's one of those films where I feel like I'm going to need a day or two to settle on it. It's something that straight away I'm going to need to kind of like pause, I may come back and watch this in like, a few months' time, or when it gets like a proper wide release, I need to kind of digest it, think about it, and then I'll go back to it again, and see if I can kind of pick up on some of the clues, for kind of what's going on, and kind of figuring it out earlier than I did whilst watching the film. It's an interesting one, and I think that, it's one that people are going to be split on. People are going to be divided on. It's already up to kind of a 6.3 in IMDb, which makes you think, maybe not the best reviews and stuff like that. But realistically, people are either going to love this film or hate this film, and that's all going to be based on kind of how they take those more unusual scenes, whether they see it as kind of high art cinema and it's making an interesting point, or whether they see it more as kind of like, this is just disgusting for disgusting sake, or kind of, various different kind of oddities that are thrown in its way. And what Emerald is able to do kind of with the film is show this sprawling landscape of this amazing house, and show the amazing gardens, and show it in all of its splendor, but also show kind of the grittiness and the horror behind it as well. It's a luscious life to live there, but it also shows kind of what it takes to kind of be there and stuff like that. So it's a fascinating drama, or as Google puts it, a fascinating mystery of a film. That was kind of all I can say about it. I don't really want to go into spoilers, because I know that the film hasn't actually been released yet, and I know that people are really excited about this one, especially because it opened the festival. It's better than some years' openings, I'll put it that way. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I will watch it again. I do need time for it to settle. I really do. And I think a lot of audiences may come back to it, and I don't know if they would prefer it or, like it less, but I do want to point out big standout performances in this film. Barry Keoghan, fantastic all the way through. He is such an amazing actor. He brings gravity to every single role he plays, and he's able to, play that kind of mischievous, kind of not quite fitting in character so well. In fact, he was kind of one of the only characters who I liked from the Eternals when I watched it the first time around, because he has such a good presence on screen. You've also got an amazing, hilarious performance from Rosamund Pike, who I haven't seen in films in a while now. I know with the Fincher retrospective, we're going to be watching Gone Girl soon, and therefore she's going to be, picking up her Oscar for that one. But genuinely, it was so refreshing to see her perform again, in a film with what I could say is only quite a humorous role alongside Richard E. Grant. And I will point out there is a lot of humor in this film. You will end up laughing. You're just laughing, just endlessly laughing throughout this film. Whether it's kind of the class divide being shown, or whether it's the just absolute wild things that are happening, you just kind of have to laugh, otherwise you'll be crying at it. And finally, I just want to point out as well an amazing performance from Jacob Elordi, who I want to say is from Euphoria. I haven't seen Euphoria. I haven't seen The Kissing Booth, but he is fantastic in this film. It is quite a one-dimensional character to start off with, but he brings some really good levels to it as the film goes on, and you kind of dive deeper into who he is as a person, and it's a very interesting journey we're taking on with his character. I really enjoyed it. That's kind of all I can say about this film. You're going to be hearing a lot more from me in the festival. You're going to be hearing from George as well. As of the time of recording this, he is actually preparing to come up to London for day 2 of the festival, to watch the bike riders and also to watch The Killer. So please go and follow us on all of our socials, because our socials are going to tell you exactly what is going on, where to find us, and everything like that, with everything that's going on throughout the festival. So there's a Linktree thing down there, which will take you to everything, including our Redbubble store, where you can pick up a t-shirt and help us and with the channel and everything like that. But definitely follow us on all of our social medias. We're keeping up to date on the festival. We've got a Twitter thread running. We've got Instagram updates going. Like, there's so much going on over this next few weeks. Please go and follow us on the socials, because everything is going to be there. Just everything is going to be right there. Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.